Alright, hello everybody. I suppose I ought to start talking on my machine shop videos. Quarter of my shop is set up kind of as a mini machine shop, and at least half of it is set up for carving custom gun stocks, and then another significant part of it is set up for doing composites work, hollow molded stuff for mainly aviation, race cars, motorcycles, model aviation. That's my primary thing. The high-speed radio controlled sailplanes, slope gliders they're called. But I got a full-scale composite airplane I designed that is a large part of why I wanted to buy this shop. So I'm kind of heading in that direction. But this project I'm working on here is astronomy, which is largely why I have a lathe and a milling machine, although it furthers everything else I do. But a previous video you saw a larger diameter rod that was for the right ascension axis of the new build. And this piece of 2 1/8 inch aluminum is going to get turned down to 2 inches exactly to fit the flange bearings for the declination axis. So I started out with 2 1/8 inch so that I had enough material to turn down a Warpian out around aluminum stock to exactly what I needed. And good thing, because this one I just turned it, with the cutter touching here, and you can't see, I got a digital readout on here. I don't know if you can see this back here. That's the reader for it. So then I came down to this end, and it was, within a couple of thou, right? It's not going to be perfect because this is extruded aluminum tube, but pretty close. And I dial indicated it when I cut the center hole using the steady rest, and you probably saw that a few minutes ago in another video clip. But this rod is bent. So over here in the middle, when I touch it, it's about 15 thou closer to the cutter than it is at these ends. And then at this end, where the cutter doesn't even touch because it's bent away from it, it's about, I think it was like 30 or 40 thou. So it's quite a bit, but I have 128 thou on one side to remove, an 1/8 inch. So I think there's going to be enough there to get a straight 2-inch rod out of this piece of material. So I need 30 inches, and this is going to cut 33 inches. It'll give me a little bit for cutting and facing. This is the first time I will have cut with the cutter on this side of the holder, and I don't know if that's considered cool or not, but I take really light cuts. I don't want to force it. I don't want to cause any out of roundness by making it work too hard, so I think it'll be okay. But by placing it on this side of the tool holder, while I can't get right up next to the chuck here because the carriage gets really close to the chuck, right? So this is as far as the carriage can go, but that's a lot closer than I can get if the cutter's on this side of the holder. And then it means down here at this end, I'll just go ahead and transport this down here, if you're patient with me for a minute. This is a 1942 Logan engine lathe. So now when I get down here, I actually have a little extra room there, but I like the angle I'm at. I could shallow it up. This will let me cut a chamfer on here. I just have like a 1/4 inch. When I cut this, I knew I cut it a 1/4 inch shorter than my maximum length, and that's fine. I'm still getting 3 inches more than I need for the project, so it's all good. Alright, let me go back down here, and I'm going to make the first cut with you on the line there, and it ought to be interesting because it's going to have big old skips. In fact, let me do this. This is probably where I should start, like right in the middle, and right on where it touches, like that. Let's see where we're at here. You can't see me, so yeah, that's 20 thou. 19 actually. Let me back this out. Well, hold on. This is really exactly where I want to be. Let me test this here. Yeah, 18, 19, 14. It deflects pretty easy. 14. Every time I touch it, it changes. 13 or 14. So may as well come down here and put it there. Oops. I need to tighten up the gibs on this a little bit. It's just too easy to move. It doesn't make any difference down here. You guys are probably laughing at me. I do lots of silly things. Okay, so I'm gonna, yeah, do I really want to back this out to 13? I'm gonna be cutting air most of the way. I don't know, man. Let's try 10. Yeah, let's do that. Well, this may be too boring for YouTube. I'll film it when it gets interesting. Let me make sure things are tight here. Yeah, oh, we're not tight. Hold on. I'm not ready. Alright, that is really tight. This is really tight. Now let me double check my dimension. Do and redo, we're turning a rod. There it's touching, there it's there. Touching, there, okay, so let me zero it where it touches. Bring it back down here. Put it back to 0. Love the digital readouts. When I first started out with this machine, I used the vernier dials, and that's a skill. It takes a while. Should have tucked my shirt in so I'd look good. Okay, I think we're ready. We got some kerosene here. We're cutting air. I got it on a pretty coarse cut here to begin with. Oh, and medium speed. I'll turn it up to higher speed. Maybe I will when we get round, but right now I was afraid that if I spun it too fast being so out of round, it might accentuate that wobble. Alright, well, let's see how it goes. Getting closer to touching. Let me just do this by hand here. Just find a contact point. And we're not going to contact until way down here. There we go. Let's cut from here. Wow, that's such a wobble. You see, I want to stop it and see how the cut's looking. Yeah, pretty coarse, but you know what, it's going to take forever. Alright, let's go a little coarser. Oh, get it out of the cut. Okay. Nope. clutch on. That is a coarse cut. Now we're moving. This is a goldenrod pump oiler. And it's got hydraulic fluid in it. Specifically ISO 32. Alright, well that was it for the cut. Alright, so let's go back down here. Crank it in a little bit more. A lot more actually. Let's be aggressive. Yeah, you guys with Clausens and other big lathes are laughing at me about an aggressive cut. I could be taking more, I just don't want to. Wobble, be gone. Oh, that's really cool. I don't know if you can see that, probably not. It's just developing a very interesting pattern as it conforms to the bend of the rod. Alright, let's do it again. Go down here a little bit, crank in another few thou. Now that's making the smoke come out. Forward to the nice swarf we'll get when we do fine cuts once it's round. Maybe it's silly to hold on, I hear a noise. What is the source of that noise? We are tight here. Maybe we need a little oil here. I'm going to put a little oil on this bearing. Let's try it again. And I haven't checked the apron's oil level in a while. I could do that. Oh, I got that wrench. I don't know where that wrench is. Oops. I don't know, it's just vibrating from the cut. Yeah, it seems to be the lead screw that's vibrating. I'm not worried about it. I need to refill my kerosene bucket. It did seem a little low. I've been thinking about splitting the apron case here at some point and cleaning it out. It's probably collecting swarf. Well, we got a good cut going. Not to grease my back gears when I did the restoration on this lathe. Reading many articles and following on the forums, I was kind of leaning towards the argument that grease holds chips, oil washes chips away. Oil is a little more, requires a little more labor. You got to stay on top of it. But that's okay with me because I love operating my machine tools. Well, we got a good cut. We're cutting the length here. There's probably cutting I could have done down here. We will. But we're getting a full cut here. Oh, we ran out of room. Why did we run out of room? I think I know why. Yeah, it should have kept going. Alright, a minute ago I put you on pause because the girlfriend came in to the shop refrigerator looking for broccoli. The reason why it stopped here was because the clutch had sagged a little bit. I reached out last little bit of, you know, the ways get tighter at the end where they're hardly ever used, so it got a little tighter and it just slipped the clutch. So it finished the cut. I went all the way to the beginning of the cut, advanced another half a dozen thou or so. I'm not even looking at the readout right now, I'm just hogging material. And we are now cutting all the way through, but you can hear there's still you know, thump, 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 thump. We're not cutting round yet, but I would say the wobble is coming out of it. There is less. At this high speed, the lead screw is chattering a little bit in the housing. You know, there's no bushing, there's no bearing in the housing. It's just a piece of cast iron with a hole in it. So that's what's going on there. And I put some more spindle oil in it just now. This is the second time, but as I did it and talking about it, I realized that maybe I should use whey oil because it's thicker. But that seems to quiet it down. This kind of swarf, these tight little curls, broken off. I don't know, it's silly, but I find art and beauty and the manipulation of the Earth's resources, you know, the materials that the planet gives us is all we have to work with. We're not mining asteroids for some kind of thing that can't be found on Earth. All we got is stuff that comes from Earth. And it amuses me. It's the thing that interests me about the shooting sports. That we take trees that grow out of the ground, and steel that's mined out of the ground, and aluminum that's mined out of the ground, and those materials are smelted and refined. Maybe we add other materials to them to change their working properties or their characteristics in operation. The other thing that amuses me about doing machine work and astronomy in general is the capability of the human hand and eye to turn out work, in the case of telescope mirrors and lenses, to an accuracy of 1/10 of a wavelength of light. Like, how crazy is that? Hold on, I gotta find my measurement here. We've done 22 thou. I'm gonna back it off. I zeroed the reader and transport this back down here, and we are now getting a complete cut. We've got a long way to go, so I'm just gonna leave it on the course cut for a dozen passes. There we go. I'm using my digital readout here to put it back to 0, bada bing. And now we're going to turn it on. I'm going to advance the cut. That's 10 thou right there. Oh, that's too much. Interesting. Well, it's a small motor. Here we go, 6 thou. Well, and the other thing, we got this really fast advance rate set. It's happy with 6 thou. It's actually reading 5 right now. All right, we're happening. Still not round. Tisk, 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 tisk. And I'm going to have to refill the kerosene bucket. And we still got Caro in there. A lot of swarf. Kerosene mixed with a lot of molybdenum disulfide grease. That was from the steady rest when I had the solid fingers on the last cut. Then I went and made some ball bearing fingers, which worked great. If you watched it earlier in this video, I'm sure you did if you're here now. Yeah, I'm really happy with that. Molybdenum. In a minute we ought to hear it go cut smooth and not tisk, tisk, tisk as we get out of the vent area. And I can't wait another half hour or an hour. I'm not going to hear any tisk, tisk, tisk at all. We're going to have a round bar. Yeah, here we go. Closer. I love my machine tools. To me, they're my art. I come out here at night before bed and just look at them. Maybe that's silly, but they bring me great pleasure. Yeah, we're into the round cutting now. Yeah, baby. Now look at that swarf. See, that's the swarf I like to see. Nice curls. Will it make it? Will it make it? zero this, back this out, transport it down to the other end and do it again. And we're cutting. Oh, look at this. I don't know if you can see, there's this whole area here that's not touched yet. That is so cool. This is all machine. Oh, it's so rough with this coarse cut. And here, this oval shape. How cool is that? I probably wouldn't like to do this for a living, but boy, it's a hobby. And I'm not doing this as the hobby, the astronomy is the hobby. But it's just great when a hobby brings you other hobbies. Alright, so we were at 0. We get it on 0 here. You can't see it. I'm looking at the digital readout. There's 0. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to advance it. 10 was too much. We're going to do 6. Oh, I'm doing 8. Gotta find the limit. Oh, that was the limit. I could tighten the belt. Hold on. We're going to back it back out. There's 6. Let's try it. Ah, we're cutting. We're cutting. Guess I found the limits of my machine. I can tighten my belt though. I bet I could get a little bit more. Look at that smoke. Can you see that? I think you can. I love it. Smoke means we're working. Working it, baby. Working it, baby. I can talk. Yep. Oh, you ready? All right. Gotta go.